I reserved, I very nearly brought home today, but I'm glad that I didn't, because now I've gone back and looked on my other videos, I think I actually prefer the second short wig that I tried on. So that's one of the ones that she's going to reorder for me in a darker colour, and then I should get a phone call. She said it'd be delivered in about a week, but it'd be in between clinics, so it'd be about 2 weeks until I can go back and try that on. By that time I would have had one chemo session, which I don't think would be enough to know whether I'm going to lose my hair or not, but my hair might have thinned a little bit afterwards, maybe. I'm not really sure how quickly it's going to affect my hair, to be honest. But I can go back and then try on these 3 wigs again. I did get one of the longer ones ordered in the darker colour, but I don't think I'm going to go for that one because it was just too thick around my neck. And especially, right, we're coming out of winter now as well. I think the shorter ones, it's just going to be so much easier for the summer. It's going to keep it off my neck. If I want to put a coat on, it's not going to get caught. It's just going to be so much easier to manage. It was actually quite good fun. It was. I thought it was going to be like a group of us just going around trying on loads of different wigs. They'd be on like those little head things, but it was actually a lot more it was one-to-one. We went into this little room. She had like a little salon chair, and she had this cupboard full of all these boxes of wigs. And yeah, she just picked a few out, let me try them on, and she was teaching me how to put them on myself, which was really, really handy. And I'm really surprised how tight they were on my head, actually, because I mean, I've had cheap wigs off of Amazon. I know they're not going to be great, but they've just felt like they're constantly slipping back on my head. Whereas these ones, they had like these little plastic bits just by my ears, like it would come just in front of my ears. So as long as you got those lined up, God, I thought that van was going to hit me then. So as long as you got those lined up on your ears and like had it, they say about 4 fingers above your eyebrows, then it was in the right position and it just stayed there. So it definitely makes you realise like how rubbish the ones on Amazon are, like the cheap ones that you get. The ones that I did like, I will have to put some money towards because I only get £120 towards it from the NHS. So I think one I had to put about 100 towards, and I think the second one, which I tried on, was the cheaper one. That was £100, and the first one, short one that I put on, was like 116. And ironically, the longer wig, the one with the most hair, I only needed to have £37 put towards it. Like, how does that work out? God, what are people driving like today? People are all over the road. But I'm glad I came away and had a thought about it, because I think if I'd have picked the first short wig that I'd put on, which was just a little bit shorter and like a little bit more messy, I think if I'd have then looked over the other videos and seen the second short wig that I put on, which was just slightly more like shaped to my face and a bit more sleeker, I think I would have regretted my decision. I might change my mind again completely by the time I go back in 2 weeks. And they also have a website as well, which has hundreds of wigs on. I started having a look through it, but I think I'm just going to confuse myself. My head hurts as much. I mean, my head hurts just trying those like few on. I think there was about 7 or 8 that I tried on, and my head was swimming by the end of it. I just wanted to go back, have a coffee, and I got back to my mum, so I just wanted a nap. Because it was surprisingly really mentally draining. I was actually quite surprised. You think just sitting in a room and trying some wigs on would be easy, but I'd rather go out for a run for an hour, I think, because my head was just absolutely swimming with the information and too much choice, trying to decide. I just wanted to go home and have a sleep. I think sometimes it's better having like 2 choices, so you literally, it's this one or this one, like, and that's all you have to decide on, because as soon as you get more choice, it just hurts your head, and then you can't decide because there's too much choice. Oh, stagecoach. I didn't see the driver. I'm not missing work yet at all, but then it's been 2 days, so it's basically like having a weekend, isn't it? Don't think I'm going to want to go back to work after all this. At the moment it's still very much full on. I've got appointments every day. So I had to make a couple of phone calls this morning. I've booked in to see a financial advisor at Macmillan on Monday, which I'm hoping I can still do. I've got a scan at the fertility clinic again tomorrow, and I don't think I'm going to get any more eggs available. I might have one or two more pop up. So hopefully I'll have to take the trigger injection over the weekend and then get booked in on Monday for the egg collection, which if I do that, I have to have say that again. If I do, I have to have conscious sedation. That's really hard to say. If I do, I have to have conscious sedation. I still can't say it, it's going to have to do. Which I don't know if I'll be with it enough to then go see the financial advisor in the afternoon. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I then booked in... What else did I book in? Also booked in my PCR test as well, because that's got to be 72 hours before I have my chemo. So that is for Sunday afternoon. And I booked online as a really good company called Look Good, Feel Better, and they do charity workshops for people with cancer. So it's not just women, they do women, men, children, it's all different workshops. And I booked onto the makeup tutorial, and I've done it as a face-to-face because I just prefer face-to-face. Like Zooming, that's good, but I just don't feel like I'd get the right help. I can't take it in as easy. So I was going to book that in for this Tuesday, but I'm having the PIC line and everything put in, so I thought that's probably going to be too much for me in one day. So I've booked it for a week Tuesday, and hopefully I'll be feeling okay after chemo. But it'll teach me how to put my eyebrows on, how to do my makeup, if I lose my eyelashes, it'll teach me how to make me look like I've got eyelashes. So yeah, I think it'd be really helpful. And I mean, I'm rubbish at doing my makeup anyway, so it might actually teach me how to do my makeup, because I think I've been doing it exactly the same for probably about 20 years. Basically like my hairstyle. Just on my way to go do my horse now. Sun is shining, which is amazing. Always makes a difference. I was going to go and do a little bit with him today. We're going to do a little bit of filming with him, but my other half's got caught up, so I think we'll do that another day now. And plus my head is just so fried with all the information today that I think I wouldn't be able to do it. I brought my little notebook with me today because I'm going to start, I think, writing notes of what I want to say, because I feel like it flows a lot better. I try and remember things while I'm talking, and I just struggle. That's why it's like, what was I doing? And then I start daydreaming like halfway through a sentence. So I think if I can start making notes and then I've got everything in a logical order in my head, it makes sense to me then. I can then look back on it and be like, okay, that's what I've done. This is what I've done. And it'll make more sense to me. I've also been making like a little timeline of everything. So like when I found the lump, when I went to the doctor, scans and stuff, just to sort of see like how much I've been through so far as well, which I think would be really interesting, because you sort of forget, it's so quick and everything's pushed through so quickly, and you're thinking you've got the next appointment, that you actually forget what you've done and how much you've done. So it's quite interesting to look back and think, wow, I've done all this in the space of 6 weeks. I mean, I only got diagnosed like pretty much the end of December, and it's not even the second week in February yet, and it's literally been like 2-3 appointments a week. It's crazy how much I've been through already. It's also crazy how much the lump has grown in that time as well, going from the beginning of December, when it was probably the size of a marble and really smooth, not attached to anything, like basically nothing to worry about, to taking up what feels like a quarter of my breast, like feeling really hard, really lumpy, sticking out the side of my breast, which is really weird because it feels like it's almost like a square shape. It's really strange, and it's discoloured the tissue as well, or my skin, where it's touching my skin and it's just underneath it. It's got like a little purple bruise, which is just really strange. Yeah, it's crazy how quickly time goes. So I'm going to go and do my horse now, just chill out. He always relaxes me, which is absolutely amazing. I'm so lucky to have him. I'm so lucky that I can still see him because I was really worried about that during chemo. I was thinking that I wouldn't be able to see him at all because of infections and viruses and diseases and stuff, but I think as long as, obviously I'm outside, so it's not so bad. I think as long as I wear a mask in the stable and I'm just very conscious about washing my hands, not touching my face and touching it and just keeping everything clean as much as you can at stables, then I'm so lucky that I'm going to be able to spend time with him and just feel a little bit normal when I can, when I've got the energy. And animals are great, aren't they? They make you relax. They just take you away from anything that you're dealing with in your life, and you just focus on them, and you get a little bit of peace while you're with them, which is amazing. Not like when I'm at home. Not like when I'm at home with my 4 cats and they basically just meow at you constantly, wanting food and attention. They have no respect at all.